Good afternoon. No introduction or anything like that on this one because this isn't a coined video. This is just going to be addressing some issues that have just been brought up. So apologies for that. If you've come here looking for coin videos or coin reviews, just skip past this one. It doesn't matter too much. So, as the title says, it would appear that Mr. Ian P Lambert and the Great British Coin Hunt have been upset. Now, from what I understand, it's relating to a live stream that I did yesterday, where I accused some company, didn't mention any names at all, of rigging raffles. As I say, I didn't name any names intentionally. So, did I mean Ian? 100% I meant Ian, and 100% I meant the Great British Coin Hunt. So where does this come from? Okay. Obviously, his business has been shut down. He can no longer operate the GreatBritishCoinHunt.com anymore because he hasn't got the funds to do it. So, Chris Dyer, who is registered as disabled and deemed unfit for work, has come on and set up, the Great British Raffle or something, I don't know, some raffle site where they do raffles each month or each week. So it was purely, I watched a stream of his, I think it went out on Friday afternoon at some point, and it was a raffle for a gold proof coin of some, I can't even remember what the coin was. And it was won by Chris Dyer. Now, there were a couple of issues that I had with that. Now, firstly, I don't know how much the tickets were on sale for, £1 or £2 a ticket, I don't know. Chris Dyer did not pay a single penny towards that. How it works is Ian pays him in, if you like, rewards. And Chris Dyer and Lorna, Katie Jones I think is another one, all of Ian's moderators basically, or those that do work behind the scenes for him, are paid in this manner, and they can use it to purchase things, raffle tickets or is junk on eBay. So Chris Dyer, as Ian publicly stated on his video, had over 500 tickets. Lorna Jones had over 100 tickets. That's over half, 50% of the tickets in there were to the organisers of the said raffle. And lo and behold, Chris Dyer won it. Now, I found that shady enough to begin with anyway. But the second part of it was that they used the spinning wheel, and they'd done 2 or 3 draws previously with the wheel on the screen the entire time, just changing the names of the people in the draw, spinning it, and everything was above board. It was done. Ian won a coin on there, which we'll come on to later. But lo and behold, just as the gold proof is going to be auctioned or raffled, suddenly there's an issue with the wheel and it goes offline for 10 minutes. Comes back and Chris Dyer wins. So the whole process around that I found to be questionable. And I happened to mention that on a stream yesterday, but the difference being yesterday I hadn't actually named anybody. I thought it was valid reason to question it, and I think genuinely, if there was nothing untoward or anything shady about it, just a response to explain what had happened would have justified it. Instead, a video was put out today by him claiming or calling a number of us, myself, I don't know why Bill Patterson's been dragged into it. I apologise for that. Lee Holt, again, no idea why Lee's been dragged into it. And some other lady that I've never heard of. Calling us vile, vindictive, narcissistic, evil, all these type of things. Which only leads me to believe that I was correct in the first place. And there is something a little bit shady going on with it. Just to give people a bit of background, when TGBCH was running raffles on its original site, none of the staff were allowed to enter those. Ian wasn't allowed to enter them. Amy wasn't allowed to enter them. John wasn't allowed to enter them. None of the staff were allowed to enter. These were people that were directly involved with setting up and running the raffle. So please explain to me how Chris Dyer is solely responsible, as Ian states several times, for organising the raffle, for setting the whole process up, how he is allowed to purchase over 50% of the tickets. Something just doesn't ring true for me, you know. It sounds a bit shady, you know. And just a normal explanation would have been justified. Instead, a video is created where the sole aim is to try to deflect away from what I first asked the question of, and you know, I think the video's titled something like God's asking God to remove my stoma, and then there's a 10-15 minute drama about his stoma, and it's trying to make it sound like people are picking on him. And this has got nothing whatsoever to do with having a disability. I have disabilities. I have mental health issues. I have health issues with having a stent fitted through a heart attack. I don't go whining every time somebody says something against me. You know, that's irrelevant. And I certainly don't think that they're being prejudiced towards me because I've got an illness of some description. So why all of that's been entwined into this, I don't really understand any of that. I've got to apologise, this video's probably going to jump around. I've jotted down a couple of quick notes that I wanted to make and address, so no doubt I'll go through them, but other things will pop into my head from time to time, so I apologise if we're all over the place. But then there's a long description of the falling outs between us way back in Christmas time, which has been well documented and, as far as I was concerned, put to rest. And I will say that was put to rest by me, okay? John White, who I've got nothing but respect for John White. He made a couple of comments on some of my videos. We got chatting. I've always gotten okay with John. He's been a nice guy. I'm sorry for what he's going through at the moment. and I agreed with John to call a truce. I contacted Ian and said I was willing to call a truce. And the basis around that was beginning of March I suffered a heart attack. I'm not going to blame that, lay that blame at anybody's feet. A lot of it was to do with the lifestyle that I was living. It just coincided that at the same time, all of this videos pretty much on a daily basis were being made about me and put out about me. So it just sort of coincided with that. I'm not going to lay that blame at anybody's feet. If you want to do that, that's entirely up to you. Well, that leads me on to another point about he makes this big thing about somebody passing away from the coin community recently. And I feel personally really offended by that. The person concerned, I'd like to consider them as a friend, somebody I spoke to quite a lot, somebody whose family members, even to this day, I speak to. It's not somebody that Ian knew. I'm not even 100% sure that he even knows the story behind that. So to make a big thing and song and dance about somebody from the coin community that died a few months back, I find that really disrespectful and really quite offensive. So I'm not going to touch any more on that. Then it goes on about all of the rows that were had previously, and Ian answered every single accusation that was put at him, and nobody came forward and apologised. Well, actually, that's not true. He states about charity money. The only charity money that Ian proved that was paid was the money from the 24-hour coin-a-thon thing that was done. No evidence has been shown for the funds that were allegedly raised for his partner's business, and to put somebody into counselling for that. No evidence of that was ever shown. So again, I don't quite understand where he's getting all this. I answered every single question. Certainly when it came to my position and the Christmas tree raffle, many videos were made accusing me of stealing that money, and literally demanding that I show evidence that it had been paid. And even once evidence of it having been paid was shown, no apology was made towards me. So it's kind of pot calling the kettle black. You accuse everybody else and demand everybody else show evidence, but you at no point showed any evidence of money being paid to your wife's business, or even how much was paid. Now, if we want to get on to that kind of thing, where's the evidence of the Sue the Mint fund? Where is the evidence of how much money was paid for that? Where is any evidence whatsoever of you attempting to sue the Mint? Because you're quite simply not doing that at all. It cracks me up. You're selling shares in domain names, which are absolutely comical. Royal Mint News, Royal Mint TV, and the idea being that the Royal Mint are supposed going to come to you and offer you £1 million per share. I have no allegiances to the Royal Mint, as you seem to think so. And I have issues with the Royal Mint, the fact they're charging £5 postage, I think, is absolutely ludicrous. They've taken themselves off of top cashback at the moment, which again I think is disgusting. Normally we get the odd 25% off sale. We haven't had anything this year. So I've got issues with the Royal Mint, you know. But at the same time, to think that they're going to come to you and offer you £1 million for a domain name is absolutely ludicrous. And you know that yourself. Let's not fool ourselves here. So you're selling these shares in domain names for, I don't know, 25, 50 quid, whatever it is, knowing full well that people will not ever see a return on that money. And you have never, ever shown evidence that you have made contact with the Royal Mint, that you have a solicitor acting on your behalf to sue the Royal Mint. It is all words, and that is it. There has never, ever been a shred of evidence. So please don't take me as an idiot, because I'm far, far from that. But there's never, ever been any evidence shown of any of that. It then goes on about all of this was masterminded around the time of his father passing away. And I have a couple of issues with regards to that. It wasn't me who didn't pay a bill, who got the website shut down. I didn't do that. That was your doing, nobody else's. And you knew full well that that was going to be shut down at the time that your father was passing away. So there's nobody that you can lay that blame at other than yourself. You knew full well, because it had happened previously. So you knew full well that was going to happen, and you knew that. Constantly going on about your father passing away and being on his deathbed. You were the one who was live streaming next to your father. You didn't have to, you had other people that were live streaming for you, but you wanted to continue to live stream from your father's deathbed. And it goes on again as to what we were previously speaking about. It's all with the sympathy vote. That is how you sucker people in. I've called you it before and I'll call you it again. You are nothing but a con man, and that's how a con is worked. You suck people in, and that is one tactic that you used by filming on your father's deathbed. So, you know, you've got nobody to blame for that but yourself. You didn't pay the Shopify bill, your website was shut down. Done and dusted, dealt with. Your issue, you did that. The timing of that was entirely your doing. Then there comes all of this that you were conned out of loads of money at the same time that your father had passed. I have no idea what you're even talking about there. I never received a penny from you, so I don't know what you're talking about with regards to that. What I do know that you failed to mention is that the coin community paid for your father's funeral. Do you remember? TGBCH went into administration, and the there was another word for it, wasn't it? It wasn't administration. I forget the wording. And you wanted the coin community as a whole to come forward and help you, and they did that. My God, did they? They came through good and proper, and they gave your dad the send off that you gave him. So where this is about you were conned, I don't 100% know where that comes from, Ian. you know, as I say, it's the other way round. It should have been you thanking the coin community for giving you the opportunity to say goodbye in the manner that you did. Then you go on about nobody has ever come forward and apologised to you. You've answered all of these questions. Well, you haven't. I've just given you several that you've not answered. The money going to Fran, the Royal Mint Sue Fund, the Royal Mint evidence of suing them. What you're talking about being conned, I don't know. What went on between you and Conon, that's between you and Conon. That's nothing to do with me. You know, that's entirely down to you. You set up the arrangement with Conon and Butch, so it's between the two of you what went on there. No, I've never come forward and apologised, Ian, and I won't. I don't believe that I did anything wrong. You're constantly going on about you spoke to me on the phone and I said one thing and then went and did something different. Well, unfortunately, it was a telephone conversation, Ian, and it's just, you know, it's your word against mine. Basically, you wanted me to go on live after the site had been shut down and sell mystery parcels, which have been proven to be absolute rubbish. I mean, how many of those did you get complaints over? Because they were jam-packed with prints. You wanted me to sell those and tell people that they wouldn't be dispatched for another 2 weeks. And I told you that I didn't believe people would go for that. I certainly wouldn't have bought one. And you seem to be missing that all the time. I went on live and I gave my own honest opinion. And that's what I've done throughout this whole process, is try to give my honest opinion. What I did do, as I've said, I think it was back in March, I contacted yourself and John, and back then said that as far as I was concerned, I wanted to call a truce. You mentioned about unbanning on your channel, etc. If I came forward and made an apology video or came on a live with you and did an apology video, to which I said, no, I wouldn't do that, because I don't feel that I have anything to apologise for. So you're never going to get that apology from me. What I did do was say that I would call a truce. And it's you, again, that has created all of this. At no point yesterday did I name you in any shape or form. So you've started this yet again. But again, you're looking for the sympathy. Oh, I've got a stoma. People are attacking me. It's got nothing to do with a stoma. The same as it had nothing to do with your dad passing. Those are just unfortunate extras that are included within the whole package. None of it has anything to do with any of those issues. So I don't know why you keep bringing them into it. As I say, this was the part that sort of tickled me a little bit. Apparently you had some issue with Lee Holt on Facebook. Now, by your own admission, a lady had asked the question about a Shakespeare coin. You had given your opinion. Lee then came in and said, no, actually, you're wrong. It's on this coin that error is on. And then you accused Lee of it didn't matter what you said, he would jump on and try and belittle you and knock you and everything else. it sounds to me like you could well be a bit paranoid, because by your own admission, Lee just came on there and corrected you that the information you were giving the lady was actually incorrect, which wouldn't be the first time, would it? Let's be fair. So I don't know where you're going with that. So yeah, you're probably a bit paranoid about that, Ian, I'm afraid. Apparently, you know, back in the old times, we would have all been put in the stocks in the town centre and pelted with tomatoes. If we want to go down those roads, mate, my God, you would have been lynched and hung. You know, con men didn't fare too well back in them days, did they? So, the final, or I say final, but something else may well pop up, issue was I accused, again without naming anybody, accused somebody of doing the coin community a disservice by going on the Potter site and purchasing all of the Potter silver proofs for £25. You said you didn't understand that because you were giving them away. No, you're not giving them away. Let's cut that crap immediately, okay? You are not giving them away. You are putting them up in a raffle with the intentions of making more than £25 that you purchased them for. That is it, okay? You don't limit how many tickets are selling. So, yes, you're giving everybody a free ticket, knowing that they will go and buy further tickets, or hoping they will. So you could sell 200 tickets and you're getting 200 quid for something you paid for 25 quid. Why do I have an issue with that? Funny really, because as you can see, I bought most of mine from the Potter shop at 25 quid ages ago. So it's not something that necessarily affects me. As I say, I've got pretty much the ones that I wanted. But I feel that it is... Firstly, I feel that the Potter shop should never have accepted an order to totally wipe them out. So I lay some of the blame at their feet. But secondly, as I've just explained, you are there trying to rinse as much money from them as humanly possible. I'm just finding something as I explain what I mean by this. So yes, I did win a Flopsy Bunny silver proof on your raffle, and I didn't purchase a ticket, so I 100% got that for free. So yeah, I did alright out of it. But publicise, Ian. This is where I challenge you. Publicise how many tickets are sold on each raffle. I challenge you to do that. Because you know that you can't. You know that you won't do that. So, you know, that's where I have an issue with you. Sorry, I'm just trying to find something as we speak. Okay. Oh, sorry. So Ian maintains that he doesn't have an eBay store. He does, but he's got it up being sold to somebody else. So these are the prices that he has got the Potters up for that he's just sold or just purchased for 25 quid. Now, okay, two issues here, okay? Firstly, and if anybody wants the name of that, it's Good Collection Coins. So firstly, the issue with that is nobody is going to go out and buy them. Most of the Potters are selling for 25 to 30 quid, with the exception of one or two. So nobody's going to go out and pay 125 quid for one. unless you were an investor and Ian has given you credit back. Because most of you thought that you had lost your money. So then thinking, well actually okay, it's money that I thought I'd lost. If I spend 125 quid, really I'm getting it for nothing because I've lost that money. That's what he's relying on you doing. And unfortunately, that is what an awful lot of people have been doing. These sheets of 50p coins for 100 quid, they're nowhere near 100 quid's worth of coins in there. You go on there and you buy them singularly on eBay, and I bet you wouldn't spend more than 35, 40 quid with postage to buy those coins. So this is how he is so-called writing debts off, is by giving people store credit, marking prices up, as you've just seen there, 5 times higher than what he has paid for. Now, in one way, it's very, very clever what he's done, because he hasn't got a site where he can sell anything via Shopify anymore. So he was, oh, whoa, how do I do this? So rather cleverly, what he's done is he's gone onto eBay and put all these items up for crazy high prices. Now, let me explain this in layman's terms for you. So, Ian owes me £250. He gives me that in credit and he sends me a link to his eBay store. I go on there, scroll through the items on there. Oh look, there's 2 silver-proof potters I want, 250 quid. Okay, I'll use me store credit on that. What you then do, you don't purchase those items. You send an offer of 1p to the seller, who you then tell them who you are. Ian will check to see whether you've got store credit with him. Then he will accept your offer of 1p and deduct the money from the money that he owes you. So a very clever way to get around eBay selling fees, which I'm sure they'll be very, very interested in knowing about. So that's how the whole getting around a site is dealt with on eBay. Let me just find it again, sorry. Oh, I've got the wrong one there. So I'm just going to get it up and show you. So on here, make me an offer, and you'll watch it and I'll send it 0, 0. Okay, offer of 1p. Anybody who sells anything on eBay, and if you put offers on there, you'll know that you all set offers, you know, within reasonable. So if you genuinely wanted to sell that, there you go. So your offer has been sent. You'll get a message back to tell you. Where are we? I'm just trying to find. So there's description at the top. That's who it is. Good condition coins. Okay, that's all the information you need on them. So I'm sure eBay would be more than happy to know how somebody is working around getting out of all the eBay fees and everything else. Personally, I think it's probably illegal as well. I don't know, but it certainly isn't particularly ethical. But then there's probably not a lot that this man does that is very ethical. So I think that's probably covered pretty much everything that I wanted to cover in this video. No doubt there are going to be countless other ones posted by him. I'm not going to respond to them. This is the only one I'm going to do, and it will be simply, I guess the final message to say is that so this is, I'll just show you something really quite funny. This is evidence that the person congratulations, your offer was accepted. So an offer of 99p for Jeremy Fisher has just been accepted. So, you know, it's an absolute joke. But I guess the final thing for me to say on this is I have contacted Ian this morning. Surprise, surprise, no response from him. That's not how he operates. He likes to do everything on a public domain, and that, you know, that's his issues, isn't it? But the final thing to say is we had drawn a line in the sand. You know, I'd called a truce on this. You have decided to reignite those flames, so to speak, and I will not respond to any more videos, any more threats, any more nonsense that you want to throw or send or whatever. Just simply to say, if it does continue, mark my words, it will be a war. You accused me last time of almost costing you your business. No, your bad management done that. But mark my words, you continue this, and I hand on my heart give you my word, I will bring you down. I will not stop until I have brought you down. And so continue the fight. You know, you want to pick a fight with me. I know why you've done it. Your video views have dropped off, so you've done it to get some more video views. You know, it's not rocket science, Ian. You know, we all know why you've done it. So if you want to continue it, I swear to God, I will not respond to you publicly, but I will make it my life's ambition to bring you down. And unfortunately, that means anybody else that is connected with you, around you, so Katie, Lorna, Chris, Fran, anybody that is remotely connected with you will come down. So if you want to continue it, crack on, fella, crack on. And one final thing to say to you, none of this has been done because you have a stoma, okay? None of this has been done because you lost your father. This has been done because of this shady way in which you operate your business. Nothing else. That is the whole reason this has been done. No other reason. So get that through your head, please, and stop trying to get sympathy votes, okay? I suffer terribly with mental health issues. I don't come on here and whine about those or try to blame those or try to feel victimised because of what I have. So please stop doing that, because it really is incredibly sad and quite lonely. And I guess the one last thing, if I could say one last thing to you, it would purely and simply be, Ian, please listen to me, and please walk away from the coin community. You're finished. The serious coin collectors within the community have nothing to do with you whatsoever. You and your followers are banned from many of the groups of coin collectors. You have a select few people who continue to follow you, and unfortunately will continue to follow you forever. And these are unfortunately sad, lonely, vulnerable people, and you pick on them and you pull them in, and that's how you have managed to stay afloat as long as you have. But do the decent thing. You say you've wiped your debts off. If you've wiped your debts off, then just walk away from the coin community. That's the best thing for you and everybody else involved. For anybody else that is watching this, I guess if you are coin collectors, the one thing I would say to you is I urge you from the bottom of my heart, from a coin collector, and this isn't coming from Warren to Ian, this is coming from a coin collector to a coin collector. Please, please, please do not get sucked in by this anymore. Just take a little sit back, have a look at the bigger picture, and realise exactly what is happening here. Take, from the raffles, okay? A gold-proof raffle that was done and was won by Chris Dyer. You may have spent £10 on that raffle and got yourself, I don't know what it was, 5 or 10 tickets. What are your chances of winning that when Dyer and Lorna and others have got over 50% of the tickets? Your chances of actually winning something, you've probably got a better chance of winning the lottery, to be honest. And that's probably £10 that you've worked hard for or scrimped and saved it in these, the times are hard. So sit back, please, and look at things before parting with any of your money. Have a look at the eBay store that he runs and the prices that are being charged on there, and tell me, would any genuine collector pay those prices? You can get them for a fifth of what he's charging you. So please, please do not get sucked in. And I knew I'd remember something. The last, and I promise this is the last thing because it's 3/4 of an hour now, and I'll never do videos this long. The very final thing to say is there is no distinction between Lighty Collects and Warren. I am the same person. Okay? Warren, Lighty Collects. We are one and the same. So, quite where you're getting off saying that we're different people. No, Lighty Collects, Warren, we are one and the same. I do have a personality disorder, emotionally unstable personality disorder. That doesn't mean that I've got multiple personalities. So, as funny as that is listening to you say it, we are one and the same person. So I'm really sorry to disappoint you there. And you speak to Warren, you speak to Lighty Collects, you'll get the same response, is what I'm getting at. So thanks everybody for watching. Sorry that I've had to do this. This will be the one and only video that is done on this. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.